Woo. Click the edit, raise me with a siren, sing lullabies. Through conversations taught me truth before the books got wise. Corner store confessions, dollar chips and broken dreams. With a block could turn a halo to a hustle overnight, it seems. I seen prayers scribbled on the back of labor notices. Mama's faith iron, hoping to my jeans like it was sewn in this. Cold winters, high tempers, short fuses, long nights. I learned early God don't flinch when the odds bite. I was walking with a pavement on my government. Cracks in the sidewalk matching cracks in my confidence. They said the city don't love you, it uses you. But God met me in the grime and said I still choose you. I speak fluent survival, my tongue got a borough accent. Every bar carry weight like the cross when it's balanced. I don't rap to escape, I rap to document how grace pulled me out the chokehold, consequences sin. See, I was dancing with wolves, but heaven kept watch. Angels double parked outside the trap spot when my name was one bad choice. From a mugshot frame, he rerouted my steps, then reroute my pain. That's Brooklyn theology, learned it in hallways where the elevator smelled like regretted no bouquets. I watched queens turn losses into legacies and kings fold under pressure, chasing temporary thrones impressively. I rhyme with intention, every sentence got breath. I ain't chasing applause, I survived being left when silence was loud and the nights talk back. God whispered purpose when my post lost track. I studied the grace, lessons hidden in rhythm, where the truth hit harder than the kick in the snare system. Precision in thought, elevation in speech. If I say it, I mean it, I don't reach. From Mossy echoes to thoughts, mental gym. I learn intellect, move crowds quicker than rims. And Big taught me vision, paint scenes with your voice. So when I speak of redemption, you can hear the choice. I change lanes mid-sentence, no signal, no pause. Faith gave me range, not just punchlines and flaws. One breath I'm offended, next breath I'm sharp. Scripture in the marrow, city in the heart. I was baptized by fire, escapes and stairwells. Learned heaven got Wi-Fi in the deepest hells. When my prayers bounced back like checks insufficient, God covered defeat, called it divine assistance. I done seen hunger teach patience better than sermons. Empty fridge, full face, that's a Brooklyn discernment. We didn't have much, but we had belief. And God stretched meals the same way he stretched me. Now I walk with authority, not arrogance though. Confidence clean when you know where you grow. I don't erase the scars, I reference them. Testimony heavy like the borough's rent. I speak for the girls who had to grow up fast, who learned strength early, cause softness didn't last. God didn't make me hard, he made me solid. There's a difference when your spirit ain't riding. I don't flex for the cameras, I move with intent. Every step sanctified, every word heaven sent. If I'm here, it's purpose. If I'm loud, it's praise. If I pause, it's respect for the process and the days. I seen fake gods fall with a chain snap sound. Seen real faith lift folks when they face planted ground. I don't sell miracles, I live proof. From cracked concrete roots to unshakable truth. So when I rap, it's scripture stitched in street slang. A Brooklyn song with a boom bap bang. God didn't just save me, he sharpened my sight. Turned my struggle into structure, my wrongs into right. I stand here clean, no halo cosplay. Just a woman from the borough who found a way. And every bar testify, every verse confess that grace got hands and it knows my address.
What's going on, people? What's going on? How y'all doing? Shouts out Mo Love in the building. Shouts out my mama in the building. How y'all feeling this evening? Man. Ooh. I apologize. I had to get myself together. I had to get myself aligned. I know I should have been here probably an hour ago, but no, I had to get myself in that mode, you know. Um, man, we in the we can't see you. What you mean you can't see me? I'm on the screen. What you mean you can't see me? Is my mic on? My mic on? What you mean you can't see me, woman? I'm looking at myself now. On the Yeah. I'm on the phone and on the laptop. I can see myself. Fix your stuff. Yeah, yo. Said she can't see me. I don't know what my mama talking about. But yeah, woman, you done made me forget what I was saying. Oh, all right. Yeah, I was ready to tell us we in the book of Isaiah. Shouts out to Mo Love for recommending this book. This book been fire since the beginning. Excuse me. This book been fire since the beginning. He's really like he really talking in this book. Man, he's passing out judgment upon everybody at this point in time. You know, people is not pleasing the Lord how he would like them to, and he's coming to set the record straight. Shouts out to the Lord standing on business. Um Tonight we're gonna go over chapters 9, 10, and 11. 9, 10, and 11. Yeah, I already say I don't know what you got going on over there, but we. Oh snap! Hold on, let me make sure I put us in the right book. We in 9. There we go. All right, but yeah, man, he been cooking. He been cooking ever since the beginning. Um, he gave what the book called the woes on excuses. You know, he went through and was talking about people who like to mix drinks and um how people gonna be famished and you know, man, how people he gonna be humbling people. Like he been talking, bro. I wish I could go back and just read it over for the people that didn't hear, but I can't. I gotta keep pushing. But if y'all ain't hear the first two lives that I did, this is what the third live. Yeah, I think that's the third live we done did so far in the book of Isaiah. If y'all ain't go see the first two, man, y'all need to go ahead and get to it. I'm telling you, so you can catch up. Cause them first two lives was crazy from the beginning. He been man, he been talking, but we gonna go ahead and not waste too much time. We gonna go ahead and start getting into this book, cause I done had y'all wait long enough. I apologize. So we in chapter 9. We in chapter 9. Um, let's go ahead and get started. Nevertheless, the gloom will not be upon her who is distressed, as when at first he lightly esteemed the land of Zebulun and the land of Naph- Naphtali, Naphtali, and afterward more heavenly oppressed her by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan in Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light has shined. You have multiplied the nation and increased its joy. They rejoice before you according to the joy of harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you have broken the yoke of his burden and the staff uh, of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every warrior's sandal from the noisy battle and garments rolled in blood will be used for burning and fuel of fire. Mm. For unto as a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it with judgment and justice. From that time forward, even forever, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Israel. All the people will know Ephraim and the inhabitant of Samaria, who say in pride and ignorance of heart, the bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with hewn stones. The sycamores are cut down, but we will replace them with cedars. Therefore the Lord shall set up and adversaries, and adversaries arisen against them, and spurs his enemies on. The Syrians before and the Philistines behind, and they shall devour Israel with an open mouth. For all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For the people do not turn to him to strike, who strikes them, nor do they seek the Lord of hosts. For the people do not turn to him who strikes them, nor do they seek. I read that. Seek the Lord of hosts. My fault. Therefore the Lord will cut off head and tail from Israel, palm branch and bulrush in one day. The elder and honorable, he is the head. The prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and those who are led by them are destroyed. Therefore, the Lord will have no joy in their young men, nor have mercy on their fatherless or fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and a evildoer, and every mouth speaks folly. Speaks folly. For all for all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand still stretched out still. For wickedness burns as fire, it shall devour uh briars and thorns, and kindle in thickets of the forest. They shall mount up like rising smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts, the land is burnt up, and the people shall be fuel for the fire. No man shall spare his brother. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. He shall devour on the left hand and not be satisfied. Every man shall eat the flesh of his own arm. Jesus. Now this book is dope. This book is dope. Manasseh, Manasseh shall devour Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh. Together they shall be against Judah, for all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is still stretched out. True. Man. This is what I've been talking about. That's what I've been talking about for when I first started, that he's giving all this stuff that these people are ready to be going through. And when we go over this stuff, bruh, we read listening to what I'm just reading, bruh, there is nothing pleasurable about what's ready to happen to these people. These people is ready to go through a horrible time, bruh. They is ready to go through a horrible time. And it's all because, they was their sins was like they was living in sins. They were living in the flesh, and they turned from the Lord. So the Lord gotta is basically putting them through all this to set things right. Like he has to tear the stuff down so that he can rebuild it back up. And the people who when we go back to, like, I think it was like 7 or 8 or something like that. Like he tells us, like, he'll spare the people who opens up their eyes and turns from that. But the people who don't, man, they gonna have a miserable time, man. And I wish I knew what verse it was. I wish I knew what verse it was so I can read that joint. But man, he said how he planted uh the vines that was supposed to yield good grapes, but ended up producing wild grapes, and he like basically he got to get rid of the whole vine now, man. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of the stuff that he's talking about is him getting rid of those old wild ways to set forth um to to set forth and produce new fruit that's good, because he didn't know that when he did that it was going to produce wild grapes. That's what he labeled them as. And then and then also in this joint we're still getting a prophecy of Jesus. I think in I think it was in 7. I think it was in 7 they gave us the prophecy of Jesus as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of them. I can't go back and I had to go back and read the whole thing. Yeah, it's in 7 they gave us the prophecy of Jesus as well. So just like in 9 they gave us the prophecy of him. So we're 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 getting man we're getting to it, bro. This joint is it's deep. It's deep. Cause now we're seeing, like, in the other books that we read, we didn't see as much action from God. We seen like the disciples doing stuff. We seen prophets and stuff like that. This we're seeing like a lot of the stuff that God is ready to start doing to these people, and as Isaiah is delivering the message that these people are ready to go through this. This book is dope. I'm not gonna lie. 66 chapters. I don't know if all 66 chapters is gonna be like this, cause this this is my first time reading it. This not Mo's first time reading it, but it's my first time reading it. So we gonna see all 66 chapters play out. But so far, it keeps getting better and better. It keeps getting better and better, and deeper and deeper. All right, we in chapter 10. Here you go with the woes again. He's starting off with the woes again. Woe to those who decree unrighteous decrees, who write misfortune which they had prescribed, to rob the needy of justice, and to take what is right from the poor of my people, that windows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. I say windows, my fault, widows. The widows may be their prey. I said windows, my bad. We in verse 3. What will you do in the day of punishment, and in the desolation which will come from afar? To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? Mm. Ooh wee. That's Now that's a verse right there. What will you do in the day of punishment? Y'all been talking all this stuff. Y'all been doing all this hot stuff. Y'all been talking about, oh, how Jesus is a joke, and you thought he died, and nah, I don't believe in him, and all right. So what you gonna do in the day of punishment? And in the desolation which will come from afar? To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? I'm gonna have to save that. I'm gonna have to save that. That's a whole live right there. Just that verse right there. That's a whole live. 4. Without me they shall bow down among the prisoners, and they shall fall among the slain. For all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So so what I'm getting from that, right? Because I keep hearing them say, but his hand is stretched out still. So what I'm getting from this is that I'm ready to put y'all through all this stuff. Y'all ready to go through a world of pain. Y'all ready to go through a whole boatload of tribulations, right? And even though y'all, I'm sending you through this boatload of tribulations, even though I'm finna flip your world upside down, my hand is still there for you to grab a hold of. Like, I'm still reaching out to you. Look, my hand is still here for you to come grab on and say, "Look, I forgive me for my ways." Like he's still opening up the invitation. That's bruh, bruh. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. I'm gonna send you through all this stuff. I'm gonna put you through all this stuff. You ready to face some serious tribulations right now. But I still got my hand out for you though. Like, when you need to get helped up, my hand is still there for you to grab onto so I can help you up. Man, am I thrown for thinking that? Is Mo? You read this, Mo? Is that what he's saying? Is that what? Because that's what I'm getting. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's what you're getting off this, or if that's what you got from this. But that's what I'm getting off this. Let me know if I'm thrown off or not. Cause I've been trying to figure that part out for the whole time. Like every time I'm reading that, I'm trying to figure out that part right there. Because they keep saying, but his hand's still stretched out, and it's like, bruh, like, I'm still giving you a way out. Like, am I thrown? Let me know. Let me know. Verse verse 5. Woe to Azariah. Woe to Azariah, the rod of my anger, and the staff of whose hand is my indignation. I will send him against an ungodly nation and against the people of my wrath. I will give him charge to seize the spoil, to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. All right, my mama said that's how I read it. Also, all right, I think that's how he's saying it. Yet he does not mean so, nor does his heart think so. But it is in his heart to destroy and cut off not a few nations. For for he says, are not my princes all altogether kings? It is not Calno, Calno, it is not Calno like Car Kachemish, Kachemish. It is not Hamath like Arpad. It is not Samaria like Damascus. And as my hand has found the kingdoms of the idols who carves images, exiled ex, exiled those of Jerusalem and Samaria, as I have done to Samaria and her idols, shall I not do also to Jerusalem and her idols? Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Lord has performed all his works on Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, that he will say, I will punish the fruit of the arrogant heart of the king of Azariah, in the glory of his haughty looks. For he says, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. Also I have removed the boundaries of the people, and have robbed their treasuries. So I have put down the inhabitants like a uh, violent man. That's what that says. Valiant. There you go. Valiant. Alright, my bad. Alright, my bad. Possessing or showing courage or determination. Okay. So I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. My hand has found like a nest of riches of the people. And as one gathers eggs that are left, I have gathered all the earth. And there was no one who moved his wing, nor opened his mouth with even a peep. Shall the axe boast itself against him who chops with it? Or shall the saw exalt itself against him who saws with it, as if a rod could wield itself against those who lift it up, or as if a staff could lift up as if it were not wood. Hmm. So what I'm getting is what he's saying. What he's saying in this part. What he's saying is in this part is y'all acting like y'all can do this by yourself. Like y'all can do these things by yourself, but y'all really need me, and y'all need me just like an axe would need somebody to use it to chop, just like a saw would need somebody to use it to saw stuff. Just like a rod, a rod wouldn't be able to yield it, well, wield itself. It needs a person to do that for him. So what he's referring to is these tools need a person to be able to use them, and the same with us, that we can't move in this life and do stuff in this life without him, without the Lord. That's how I'm taking. That's how I'm taking that part. That's how I'm taking that part. Therefore, therefore the Lord of therefore the Lord of hosts will send leanness among his fat ones, and under his glory he will kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. So the light of Israel will be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame. It will burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day. In one day, verse 18. We in verse 18. And it will consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body, and they will be as when a sick man wastes away. Then the rest of the trees of his forest will be so few in numbers that a child may write on them. Mm, mm, mm. And it shall come to pass in that day that a remnant of Israel and such as have escaped of the house of Jacob will never again depend on him who defeated them, but will depend on the Lord and the Holy One of Israel in truth. So yes, that's what. All right, so I was getting that then. All right, cool. So I was getting that. That's what he was referring to with those tools that he mentioned. That he mentioned. He's telling the people that y'all y'all people y'all people won't be able to do nothing without me. Y'all couldn't live without me. Y'all can't do certain things without me being there. And that's why he was referring to the axe. Can't chop stuff without somebody using it. A saw can't saw stuff without somebody using it. A rod can't wield itself without somebody using it. Okay, so I was getting that then. I was getting that then. 21. The remnant will return. The remnant will return. The remnant of Jacob to the mighty God. To the mighty God. 22. For though our people, oh, though our people, O Israel, be as the sand of the sea, a remnant of them will return. The destruction decreed shall overflow with righteousness, for the Lord God of hosts will make a determined end in the midst of the land. 24. Therefore, thus says the Lord God of hosts, O my people who dwell in Zion, do not be afraid of the Assyrian. He shall strike you with a rod and lift up his staff against you in the manner of Egypt. Shah, what's going on? Good evening. How you doing this evening? 25. For yet a very little while, and the indignation will cease, as will my anger in their destruction. And the Lord of hosts will stir up a scourge for him, like the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb, as his rod was on the sea, so will he lift up in the manner of Egypt. It shall come to pass in that day that his burden will be taken away from your shoulder, and his yoke from your neck, and the yoke will be destroyed because of the anointing oil. He has come to a Ayath. He will come to Ayath and has passed Migron at Michmash. He has attended to his equipment. Oh, that I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping in. I appreciate it. I'm glad everything is going good this evening. Thank you for stopping in. 29. They have gone along the ridge. They have taken up lodging in Jeba at Jeba. Ramah is afraid. Gibeah of Saul has fled. Lift up your voice, O daughter of Gallim. Cause it to be heard as far as uh, Laish. O poor and Anathoth. Med, Medmena. Medmena has fled. The inhabitants of Jebum seek refuge. As yet he will remain and know that day. He will shake his fist at the mount of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. 33. Behold, the Lord of hosts, will will lope over will lop over the bow with terror. The bow. Behold, the Lord of hosts, will lop over the bow with terror. Those of high stature will be hewed down, and the haughty will be humbled. He will cut down the thickets of the forest with iron, and Lebanon will fall by the mighty one. Mm, Lebanon. True. Man, those names started getting to me. I ain't even gonna cap. Those names started getting to me. But man, this man, I don't know what these. Well, I do know what these. I could say I don't know what these people that did to make this guy mad, but I do know what these people that did to make him mad. But man, if y'all don't get everything that I got from this, I'm reading from this. If y'all don't get anything from this, I want y'all just to know this, right? Don't anger the Lord, bruh. Please don't anger the Lord, bruh. Ooh, this guy, real. When they say, yeah, I mean, uh, he don't play well with others. This is the perfect example. If he doesn't play well with others, was a person, it'll be God. Oh, gang, bro. if, if he doesn't play well with others, was a person, it'll be God, bro. I to from chapter one. Nah, for real. From chapter one to chapter 10, bro. All I heard was he going upside people head left and right. He is not playing, bro. He is not playing. But one thing that I also got out of this though, even though even though he don't play well with others, he still loves us and has that heart enough to be like, look, my hand is still stretched out. Like no matter how many things he says he's finna do to these people, but his hand is still stretched out. But his hand is still stretched out. But his hand is still it says this numerous of times. But his hand is still stretched out. And it just shows like look, y'all gonna face this. Y'all gonna face this. You know, cause I'm angry at this moment. And I have the right to be angry because y'all turned away from me. Y'all didn't believe that I was gonna do this. So let me show y'all. And I said this before. It reminds me it reminds me of when your parents be like, all right, keep acting up. All right, go ahead. You keep on doing what you doing. All right. All right, go ahead. I'm all right. I ain't gonna keep telling you. That subtle warning right there. That subtle warning means you better knock it off because I'm finna put some hot stuff on you. You see what I'm saying? Like you better knock it off. It's not for you to keep doing what you're doing. All right, you keep it up. That doesn't mean keep doing what you're doing. That means you better knock it off immediately. You better knock it off, and you better knock it off now. And the fact that he gives that subtle warning, and then the fact that he's telling you, shouts out to Smitty in the building. Shout out to Smitty in the building. And even though he gives you that warning, he still lets you know, like, hey, my hand is still out here for you. So if you want to come and you want to turn over that leaf, and you want to give up that old way, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Yes. Yes. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And it's just a beautiful thing to know that although he gets angry, he still loves us enough to be like, come on, come on, I'm giving you that, I'm giving you this chance, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might have to put this hot stuff on you, but I still love you. Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Shouts out to Mo Love, bruh. Shouts out to Mo Love. Mo Love is the reason why we in this book. Shouts out to her. She picked a good book to read. All right, we in chapter 11. This is gonna be the last chapter for the night. There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight is in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge by sight of his eyes, nor decide by hearing of his ears. But with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with, oh, my fault. Go down, go down. There we go. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips. He shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his loins, and faithfulness the belt of his waist. Now, now, the fear part, and we talked about, like Bolo talked about this, and I talked about this before. The fear part is not saying that he's scared of the Lord. That fear that they're speaking of is is um is acknowledgement. Um, I'm pulling it up now. So, oh, here you go. it represents a profound reverence, awe, worship, and obedient respect for God's supreme greatness. Okay, it's not that fear that you're in danger. Is not that fear that you know to be scared of him or nothing like that. Is it represents a profound reverence, awe, worship, and obedient respect. Okay, that's the fear that they're talking about. We in 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the young goat, the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. 7. The cow and the bear shall graze, their young ones shall lie together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nourishing child shall play by the cobra's hole, and the winged the, the winged child shall put his hand in the viper's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord, and the waters cover the sea. We in 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, who shall stand as a banner to the people. For the Gentiles shall seek him, and his resting place shall be glorious. It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Israel and Egypt, from Pathrons to Cush, from Elam and Shinar, and from Hamath and the islands of the sea. He will set up a banner for the nations, and will assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Also, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not harass Ephraim. But they shall fly together upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. Together they shall plunder the people of the east They shall lie their hand on Edom and Moab, and the people of Ammon shall obey them. The Lord will utterly destroy the tongue of the sea of Egypt. With his mighty wind he shall shake his fist over the river, and strike it in seven streams, and make men cross over dry showed. There will be a highway for the remnant of his people, who will be left from Assyria, as it was for Israel in the day that they came from the land of Egypt. Ooh wee. Alright. So we seeing God collect his people. You know, the ones who stood on business. Yeah, I mean we seeing God get a way for his people to come back. You know, the little people that stayed true to the word. He's taking out all the bad and replacing it with the good. That's what was being said in which chapter was that? I can't remember what chapter it was. It was either six, five or six, when he said he's gonna tear down the vineyard because it produced wild grapes when he was trying to produce good grapes. So you see him tearing down the vineyard slowly and putting in the new grapevines so that it can produce good grapes. The good grapes would be the remnant that he's bringing back to that that place where Jess is at. Man, this this joint crazy, bro. Oh wee, man, this is fire. I I like this. I like it. I like it. We still got 50. Still got 55 more chapters. We gonna be here for a little second. You know, we got 55 chapters. I read three chapters. I felt like three chapters for each reading is good enough, because one, I don't want to bombard y'all with a lot of different verses and chapters and stuff like that. And two, I know y'all don't want to sit here while I try to read 20 chapters of stuttering. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta break it down for y'all so that y'all can at least retain some of the information that's being read. I hope that y'all go back and read it as well. You know, like read the chapters over for yourself too, instead of just listening to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, that's motivation. You know that just referring that I'm on the right path. But I d- I would like for y'all to go and read it for yourselves too. You know, because what I get from it is not gonna be what y'all get from it. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we're getting the picture of what is going on, and as long as this helps us with our relationship with the Lord, that's all that matters. That's all that I care about. You know, and that's what I'm doing it for. You know, so that y'all can like, it's like my uncle. Shouts out to my uncle, because my uncle referred it to um food for your soul. You know, you don't just eat once a week. If you ate once a week, you know what I'm saying, your body will go through so many different changes. And I feel like doing this, I'm feeding y'all. I'm feeding, the flock. I'm feeding the flock. And that's what the Lord asks of us. He told Peter, if you love me, you'll feed my flock. So this is my way of showing my love for the Lord, is by making sure that y'all stay fed throughout the week. Whether it's something little, you know, whether it's just getting on here and doing a little praise and worship, just something, you know, as long as we're eating together and we're getting, excuse me, we're getting that good nourishment. We're eating together, we're getting that good nourishment of the word in our souls and in our spirit. That's all I can do, you know. So I'm glad y'all like this. Shouts out to my wonderful sister Shay coming in here. Shy, my fault. Shouts out to Mo Love. Shouts out to my mama. You know I love you, woman. Shouts out to Smitty, number 7, the lucky number 7 that came in here. Um, but yeah, that's it for tonight. Remember, we have Friday testimony over at Bolo TV The Village. Put that in there. Bolo TV The Village. So after this, I ask y'all stop over there. They're gonna have a good he got something good cooking up over there for Friday night testimony. Come hear these good words and yeah, tune in because it's always something good going on over there. We got a lot of people that like to participate on the panel. It got has an open panel. So whereas though if you do have something you want to speak on, or you want to get off your chest, air out something, you're more than welcome to come up on there. He doesn't discriminate. If you need help, you need some good words, he'll give you the best that he could do. That's that's all it's about. But that's it for tonight. I catch y'all Monday? No, Sunday. Sunday. Um we go live every Sunday, either on this channel or this one right here, MHBC Media TV. If you search this in the YouTube, search this on YouTube, MHBC Media TV, you'll be able to see our church channel. So I go live from church on this channel and the church's channel. So you'll be able to watch it live. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it live on both channels. And even if you can't watch it live, you still can go back and watch the playback. We have quite a few videos up there, quite a few lives. Um Yeah, I suggest you, like if you just want to hear the word and you need some good words, just go over there, watch one of the videos, and get your praise and worship on. He my uncle gives the titles of every time he gives his service, he gives y'all the title. He either gives y'all 2 points or 3 points with a biscuit. So make sure you get your pad and paper ready. Take down the points. Jot your notes. If y'all can see, hold on, I'll show y'all. I'll show y'all. All these all these little papers that you see folded up like this is from Sunday services. All these is from Sunday services. And as you can see, hold up. There we go. I got my points, the title, and then little notes over there. Don't be laughing at my handwriting. But I keep little papers like this so that you can take down different notes and stuff like that. So you can always it's just something to always have something to refer back to. You never know when these are gonna come in handy. Like this one right here, this paper right here, right? This one is don't crack under pressure. Don't crack under pressure. And he was coming out of First King chapter 19 verse 1 through 6. And his talking points, his first point was don't lose focus. Second point was don't isolate yourself. And the third point was God takes care of his children. And this 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 particular service was about when Elijah had executed all those people. And I think his name was Ahab. Ahab went back to Jezebel and told him what happened, told her what happened, and then she sent the messenger to Elijah and told him that what he did to the people, she was gonna do to him. And then Elijah got up and ran into the woods and found himself in a cave. So this is that whole little timeline when he was out there in the wilderness and he was sleeping underneath the tree, and the angel came to him and fed him and stuff like that. So this is this service is from that particular passage, and this is why he named it "Don't Crack Under Pressure." The pressure was she sent Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, which caused him to crack under pressure because he lost his focus. His focus was what the Lord had him to go there to do. And because she sent that messenger to him, he cracked under pressure and he lost his focus. That's why the first point is don't lose focus. And then after he lost his focus on what he was supposed to do, he ended up running off and leaving his companion behind. He ran off on his own. So that's why the second point is don't isolate yourself. And then as he was out there, he was tired and he was sleeping. Even though he lost focus and even though he isolated himself and even though he felt as though he wasn't good enough for that, the Lord still continued to take care of him by sending the angel down there to feed him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the third point was God takes care of his children. So just little things like this, little things like this helps. You know, little things like this helps. I got a lot of them. I got a lot of them. I ain't even gonna lie. I got a lot of them. This one right here is this right here is John 15 verses 1 through 7, and this one is referring to um the analogy that was made between God being the gardener, Jesus being the vine, and us being the branches on the vine. And and with that God dresses up the vine. We're we're attached to the vine, which is the branches is attached to the vine, which is the life. We don't have life if it's not through Jesus, which is the vine. And in that life, you're one of two things. You're a branch that bears fruit, or you're a dead branch that doesn't bear fruit. Dead branches that don't bear fruit has no relationship with the vine, which gets purged, which gets taken off the vine. You cut the dead branches off so that it can bring forth more fruit, bring forth more branches of life. And with us being connected with the Lord, we're the branches who get trimmed up so that our fruit can blossom. That we can blossom and continue to live in Christ, in the Lord. So it I can't remember exactly how it was broke down, because this was a while ago, and then I would have to go read the actual verse for y'all to give y'all the breakdown. But what I got on here is productive cutting, not emotional cutting. It's a difference. Fruits Fruit reveals the character, your godly character, your spiritual growth. Word Words don't just clean. Oh, the word don't just clean, save. It saves, qualify. It cleans, save, and qualify. It produces, stays connected in God. Um, we stay connected in God. We abide in God, which we're living with God. Uh, and then we gotta stay with God, not just visit. So stay when I put we gotta stay with God and not visit, which means we're not using the Lord as just a in case of emergency break glass, that we're doing like how Brother Bolo always says, we're putting God in the center of our lives. So if God's in the center of our lives, that means we're abiding in God. We're working around God, not God working around us. We're working around God because God's in the center. Um, and then I got the danger of not abiding in God. That's the branches, the dead branches that gets cut off and tossed into the fire, gathered up and then tossed in the fire. That's the danger of not abiding in God, that we don't bear the fruit. So he gets rid of us. He cuts us off. That's the death part, the separation from Christ, from God. When we don't abide, we get separated from God. And the punishment is being tossed into the fire. And you know what that is. You know what that means. So yeah, this one was deep. This one was deep right here. Um I got Luke I got one from Luke chapter 6 verse 38. I got another one from John. I got another one from John. My uncle done did a lot. I got Second Corinthians 5, chapter 5, 17 and 18. I got Mark chapter 4, verse 35, 41, and Mark chapter 5, verse 27 and 34. This one, this one is not from my uncle. This one is not from my uncle. This one was from a guest speaker that came. Shouts out to Reverend Koger for that one. And then I got Revelations 21, 1, 3, and 6. So yeah, I got a couple that's just and this is just the ones that I had sitting around. I got more. I got more. But it's good to take notes. It's good to take the notes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got this big old spiral notebook. I finally got me a new notebook. I finally got me a new notebook. But I keep this spiral notebook for a reason. So that I can take my notes and stuff and I can always refer back to them. So anytime you go, if you go and listen, I recommend that you get a pen and some paper and take notes so that you can go back and reference certain things, especially when you you start to see when these things pop up. You like, oh, you can always go back to, like, you know what, I just had a word about this, and you can go refer back to your notes and stuff. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm glad everybody came in. Shouts out to everybody that came in. Love y'all. We ready to get up out of here. Shouts out to the ones in the background who came in and just kicked it and listened. Shouts out to y'all. Y'all get love too. I appreciate everybody. We gonna get out of here. Let's end off with a good tune. Shouts out to Brother Bolo for the music.
with hearts open wide.